So, good morning to all of you. So, today we are going to start. This is a new topic that is called hydrostatic force and pressure measurement, and today we are going to solve some of the problem from this topic. So, this is the first problem. You try to solve this first problem. So, this is the first problem. What are the forces that influence the problem of the fluid static? So, when the fluid will be at rest condition, suppose this is the fluid and that is at rest condition. So, if the fluid will be rest condition, definitely there will be gravity force and the pressure force will act. But the governing equation for fluid mechanics, there will be gravity force, pressure force, and if there will be relative motion in between the fluid layer, then definitely that viscous force will be exist. But as far as the fluid will be in a rest condition, so there will be only pressure force, or that is intermolecular force in between the fluid molecules, and the gravity force will act. And this, the equation which govern these two force, that is called as Euler equation. It is called Euler equation, and the equation which generally covers the gravity force and viscous force, that is called as Navier-Stokes equation. That is called Navier-Stokes equation. So here in this question, so that will be gravity force and pressure force will act. Option B is the correct answer for this question. Option B is the correct answer for the question. So next you see next question, that in hydrostatic which of the following statement is false? In hydrostatic which one of the following is statement is false? Shear stress is always 0. Obviously, if the fluid will be in rest condition, there will be no relative motion in between the fluid layer. So what will happen? There will be the shear stress among the fluid particle will become 0. So if the shear stress is 0, definitely the Pascal's law will valid. So definitely the Pascal's law is valid. So this is the condition. If shear stress will be 0, now definitely the Pascal's law will be valid. So it is asking the false one. This is correct. So normal stress is exactly equal to pressure. So if you take a container, and suppose in which there is h height of fluid will be there, and you are calculating the pressure at this bottom point B. So pressure will be equal to the weight of the fluid above that point divided by this area on which that fluid is there, because here is going to be pressure is acting. Okay, so that pressure we are calculating. So weight nothing but we can write down this is mass into G divided by this area. So mass we can write down, I am writing here. So pressure at point B will be equal to W by A. So W we can write this mass mg by A. This mass also we can write down, this is density into volume into G divided by A. So volume of the fluid will be equal to, if the cross sectional of the container A, cross sectional area of the container will be A. So this is density into A into this H into G divided by this A. So A con, so pressure at point B will be equal to, that is rho G H. So that is I am going to talk about. So pressure is nothing but that is will be equal to, so you can see here. So pressure is nothing but that will be it is not visible I think there. So I am writing here. So pressure I told you this is W by A. So that is mg by into A. So m we can write density volume into G divided by A. So this volume we can write down, this is area into this height. So this height into G divided by this A. So A con, the pressure at point B will be equal to rho G H. So I am going to talk, I want to tell here the pressure at this point number B or pressure at this bottom okay, is nothing but the weight of the fluid above it. So option B is also correct. Option B is also correct. So pressure is same in all direction. Obviously, if shear stress is going to be 0, the Pascal's law will be valid. Then pressure will be same in both pressure at x, pressure y equal to pressure into z. So every direction the pressure is going to be same. That is also correct. But it is asking the false statement. So the equation of hydrostatic is valid for uniform flow. It is not. If the flow will be uniform, there is a motion of the fluid particle will happen, then hydrostatic force we cannot consider. The equation of hydrostatic law will be invalid. So for this question, option D is the correct answer. Option D is the correct answer. Okay. So now you try to solve the third question. So third question you try to solve. Third question is saying, in a static fluid, the pressure at a point is, I told you now just, the pressure at a point equal to the weight of the fluid above. So equal to the weight of the fluid above and equal in all direction. Obviously, if the pressure, the fluid will be in static condition, then there will be shear stress will become 0. If the shear stress will become 0, then that will be Pascal's law will be valid. So Px will be Py equal to Pz will be equal to P. So equal in all direction only if viscosity is 0. No, because if the shear stress will be 0, then we can say the pressure will be same in all direction. But it is viscosity 0 means we know that we can write down the shear stress will be equal to, for Bingham plastic, will be equal to mu into, that is du by dy to the power n. If this is becoming 0, so still there really yielding stress exists. So for that fluid we cannot say, and always directs downwards. Pressure always acts normal to the contact surface. It is not like downward. So pressure, if you take any cross sectional fluid will be there. Okay, suppose this is the pressure. The pressure is always perpendicular to the contact surface. So if you take a curved surface also, so pressure is always perpendicular to the contact surface. So for me, if you ask me which one is correct, I think both A and B are correct. Both A and B, both are correct. So this is the correct answer for the question. This A and B. So here A and B is correct. Now I try to solve this fourth question. So the specific gravity of the fluid, the specific gravity of the liquid is given you as 0.75. Okay, 0.75. What height of the liquid need to be provide a pressure difference of the 200 kilopascal? Here actually I want to tell you that we know the from hydrostatic law, this dP by dz equal to gamma. So or it is a rho into g. So this is the basic equation in a hydrostatic topic. So if you want to find out the pressure from here, that will coming out to be rho g into z, or I am just writing this is h in form, so that is rho g h. So pressure will be equal to rho g h. This will be valid when the density of the fluid will be constant. Otherwise you start from this dP by dz will be equal to gamma, and you integrate the pressure from the height h1 to h2 and find out the pressure. But here pressure will be equal to rho g h. So it is asking the change in pressure is given you, and rho g is the change in height. So it is asking to find out what is the differential height is asking. So this is nothing but del p by this is rho into g. Del p by this is rho into g. So here this del h will be equal to del p is how much? The pressure is already, this is 200 into 10 to the power 3 Pascal divided by this is you given you as that specific gravity is given. So this is 750 into this is 9.81. this is 9.81. So you try to solve this and you find out the height. Actually I have did not bring my calculator, so you try to find out this one, then your answer will be, you will get your answer. Okay, this is the concept. Next question you try to solve, fifth question. What is the height of an oil column of specific gravity 0.9 equal to the gauge pressure of 20.3 kilopascal? That is 20.3 kilopascal. Okay, 20.3 kilopascal. So same, just you have to do the pressure will be equal to rho g h. Pressure will be equal to rho g h. So pressure will be equal to rho g h. It is asking the gauge pressure is given you. So only is asking the height. So this is P by rho into G. Atmospheric pressure of gauge value of the atmospheric pressure will be 0. So only height will be equal to very simple one. So the pressure will be equal to, this is 20.3 into 10 to the power 3, and that specific gravity, this is 900 into this is 9.81, because specific gravity is density by density of the water. Okay, so if you want to find out density, then just multiply with density of the water. So height you will find out. Okay, so that is coming out to be, I think it will come 2.3. So this is coming out to be, I think 2.30 meter. 2.30 meter. Next question you try to solve. So sixth question you solve. At sea level, under normal condition, the equivalent value of atmospheric pressure. So if you find atmospheric pressure value will be equal to, that is 10 to the power 5 Pascal, or that is 101.325, that is kilopascal. Okay, in the form of head, if you ask me, that is will be equal to 76 centimeter height of mercury, and that is 10 that is how much, 10.30 meters height of water, and that is 8.3 kilometer height of air. Okay, so this is the atmospheric pressure, or that is also, this is called 1 bar. Okay, 1 bar. So here all of the are correct. Okay, all of the are correct. Seventh question, if the pressure of a fluid is below atmospheric pressure, then it is designated as what? So if this is the line of absolute zero pressure. This is the line of absolute zero pressure. Absolute zero pressure means where the pressure will be 0 bar. So here the pressure will be 0 bar. Okay, here the pressure will be 0 bar. So now this is the atmospheric pressure. So here this is the atmospheric pressure. So here this is P atm and this is P atmospheric. If you consider a point just above this one, suppose I am considering a point just above this atmospheric, that is A, and that is pressure at point A in the form of gauge I want to write. Okay, and from this point A to this absolute zero, that is called P absolute at point A. Now above atmospheric, how much extra pressure at this point A, that is called as gauge pressure. This one is called as gauge pressure at point A. So what is the relationship now we are getting? So that is P absolute at point A will be equal to, that is P atmospheric plus that is P gauge pressure at point A. So similarly, if you consider a point B here, okay, and this one is called absolute pressure at point B. This one is called absolute pressure at point B. Okay, it's fine, it is visible. So absolute pressure at point number B. So now and this one is called negative gauge pressure. So this is the gauge pressure at point B. So now if you want to find out this pressure will be equal to the gauge pressure. I am writing here. So let me write here. I am just writing here the gauge pressure at point B. The gauge pressure at point B will be equal to this atmospheric pressure minus this absolute pressure at point B. Okay, so if you take this side, that is coming out to be this absolute pressure at, this is point B. Point B will be equal to, this is atmospheric pressure minus, okay, minus this is gauge pressure at point B. Means what? So in general if you find out a formula, that formula will be equal to, this is P absolute will be equal to P atmospheric plus or minus P gauge pressure. So this is one formula, you just remember this. Okay, this is one formula. So here it is, I am saying, so whatever the pressure we are measuring below the atmospheric pressure, that pressure we are considering as vacuum pressure, suction pressure, or that is called negative gauge pressure. So here in this case all of the are correct. So all of the are correct. Now these are the some of the formula which we need to remember for your convenient, because you need to save the time in your GATE exam. Okay, so here actually center of pressure, we are actually, these are some of the center of pressure. There are some of the center of pressure from different plane, and we are measuring from liquid surface. You just remember, from the liquid surface we are finding out the center of pressure. For this rectangular, the center of pressure will be equal to 2h by 3. So this will be formed here, that is 2h by 3. So similar triangle with base on free surface, if the vertices will be downward, then that is h by 2. If the vertices will be upward, then that is 3h by 4. And the for circular, that is 5d by 8. These are the formula, and this trapezium also you remember. Okay, these are some of the formula you need to remember for your convenient. I will also upload this one in my YouTube channel link. This PDF you will get. So now 8 question you try to solve. Question number 8. Two tanks A and B with same height. It is already mentioned. This height will be here. These are the same height, and are filled with water, same liquid water. The volume of the tank 10 times the volume of the tank B. Okay, so volume of the tank A will be equal to 10 times volume of the tank B. So it is asking say the pressure P and PB at the bottom of the tank, what will happen? What is the relation? So here we know that the pressure, so this pressure will be equal to rho g h. So if the density of the fluid will be constant, if you assume this density of the fluid will be constant, then the pressure is only a function of the height, only a function of the height of the fluid. And here this height of the fluid will be same, both the case the height will be same. So if the height will be same, definitely the fluid will be have also same pressure. So the pressure is independent of the size and shape of the container. It does not depend on the volume of the tank, or it does not depend upon the cross sectional area of the tank. Only it depends upon the height of the fluid, until and unless the density of the fluid will be constant. So this is the correct answer for the question. Now this is option C is the correct answer for the question. So option C is the correct answer for the question. The standard atmospheric pressure is 760 millimeter of mercury, At certain location, the barometer reached 710 millimeter of mercury. At this place, an absolute pressure of 360 millimeter mercury correspond to a gauge pressure in millimeter mercury is asking. So first of all, we need to understand the barometer is an instrument which generally we are using to measure the local atmospheric pressure. Okay, so at that location the barometric pressure is measured to be 710 millimeter of mercury. Okay, so here, so that is P absolute will be equal to P atmospheric plus that is P gauge. Okay, so this P absolute pressure is how much? Local atmosphere at this place, absolute pressure will be 360 mm of mercury. Atmospheric pressure is how much? That is 700, because barometer is used to identify the local atmospheric, that is mm of He, and that is we need to find out the gauge value. So what is the gauge value? Just minus this 360 minus 710. 360 minus 710. So how much this is? So this is negative 350 mm of He. It means that is 350. It means what? 350 mm of vacuum. Okay, 350 mm of vacuum. 350 mm of vacuum. This problem you can also solve. Very easy problem. Just the normal stress of this normal stresses are of the same magnitude in all direction at a point in a fluid only when the fluid will be frictionless, only when the fluid will be rest, only when the fluid has no shear stress. Option C is the correct answer for the question. So barometer is used to measure absolute pressure, no. Gauge pressure, no. Gauge pressure only it is used to measure the local atmospheric pressure. Barometer generally used to measure the local atmospheric pressure. These are very simple question. Now this is also very simple. When Z is measured vertically upwards, then hydrostatic law will be, so Z is measuring in vertical upward direction. So this is X, this is Z, and this is Y. So now this will be dP by dZ will be equal to minus gamma. So if the Z will be measured in the downward direction, that will be plus gamma. So that is option C is the correct answer for the question. So this is the correct answer, dP by dZ minus. Now a tank contains, you solve this the 16 number question. A tank contains 0.8 meter of oil having relative density is 0.86, below which there will be 1.5 meters of water. It means it is given you so it is given oil, water and mercury. So this is oil and this is water and this will be mercury. So what is the depth of oil? Oil is given you how much? This is 0.8 meter and water is given you as how much? Water is 1.5 meter. So this will be 1.5 meters and then 0.2 meters of mercury. So this will be 0.2 meters of mercury. So here it is asking the pressure at this point number B. So obviously we can know pressure at point B will equal to density of the oil G into height of the oil plus density of the water into G into height of the water plus density of the mercury into G into height of the mercury. Okay. So only this is the formula you have to remember and we have to put the values. Just you have to put the values. So density of the oil is how much? So density of the oil will be, this is specific gravity, this is 800 into this is 9.81 into height of the oil G is 0.8 plus density of the water, this is 1000 and this is 9.81 and this is 1.5 plus this will be density of the mercury 13,600 into this is G 9.81 into this is 0.2. So everything you have to divide it by 1000 in order to make into kilopascal. Everything you have to need to find out. So you need to, so you just see there, it is not visible I think. Okay, fine. So just find this formula, find this answer. Now 17th question you try to solve. 17th question you try to solve. So here it is the absolute pressure at point A. Figure below shown atmospheric pressure is already given to us. So atmospheric pressure given to us, and it is asking the absolute pressure at this point number. Here it is asking that absolute pressure at this point number A, how much? Okay. So for this we have to choose a reference line where we can apply the manometric equilibrium equation. So I choose this line to be my reference line, because I already told you, you choose a reference line in such a way that below that reference line same fluids of same specific gravity must be present. So now I apply manometric equilibrium equation. So this is Px will be equal to, that is Py, pressure in X will be equal to. So first you choose the left limb. So that is P absolute pressure at point A plus this is water will be there. So density of the water rho into this is G into what is the height, this is 0.7. Okay, that is 0.7. So that will be equal to pressure in Y. So pressure will be Y, will be this will be here. We have to consider atmospheric pressure because here we are finding the absolute. So this is atmospheric plus. So this will be carbon tetrachloride. So this in density is 1 point specific gravity. So this the density will be 1600 into this is 9.81 into this height will be how much? This is 0.20 meter. This is 0.20 meter. Okay, so this will be 0.20 meter. So this is 0.20 meter. So now if you solve this, absolute pressure at point A will be equal to atmospheric pressure already given you. This is 101.3 into 10 to the power 3. Okay, so plus this is 1600 into this is 0.2 minus you have to do this 1000 into this is 0.7 into this is 9.81. Otherwise you whole divided by this is 1000 you do, and here you just cancel this. So already everything you will get in kilopascal. Everything you will get in kilopascal. So I think it will come out to be 97.57. So that P absolute at point A will coming out to be 97.57 kilopascal. So here you will get, so 97 kilopascal. So this is the correct answer for the question. So D, option D is the correct answer. Now this question you solve. So figure below shows the container of oil, rank them according to their pressure depth at H. So obviously I already told you that pressure will be equal to, that is rho G into S. So pressure is a function of height only. If the density of the fluid will be constant, G obviously constant. So here everything is, every fluid will be having to be H height. So all are having same pressure. So all are tie. So option D is the correct answer for the question. For a submerged plane, a liquid, the center of pressure on the side of the plane is related to the center depth. Obviously, we know the formula that the hydrostatic force will be equal to rho g into, this is g into y bar into a. This is the hydrostatic pressure. So this rho g we can write down, this is gamma into y bar into a. So gamma into y bar into a. So gamma into y bar into a. So which one? Obviously this is the answer, option B. Okay, this is a basic question. Now you try to solve this question. So the center of pressure will coincide with the center of gravity if a plane surface is, obviously, if the plane surface will be remain horizontal, okay, then obviously the centroid or the center of gravity will be equal to the center of pressure. So that's why if the surface will be there will be three conditions, okay. So there will be three conditions will be there. Just to see the three conditions. So the three conditions will be there. So when that is in horizontal, when this plane surface will vertical, and when this will be in having any inclination, okay, inclination. So at this case, this YCP, center of pressure, will be equal to this y bar. So in this both case, the center of pressure will be greater than the y bar. Okay, the center of pressure means where the total hydrostatic force will act. Means when the vertical planar surface will remain horizontal, then the center of pressure will be equal to centroid, and when the vertical planar surface in vertical condition or it having inclination, that condition the center of pressure will always be greater than the centroid of that planar surface. Okay. Now you see this question. So it is the correct answer for the question will be, so when this will be horizontal. So now you read the 21 number question. A tank with 4 equal vertical surface of width W and depth H is filled up with a liquid. If the force on any vertical, if it is the condition, if the force of any vertical phase is equal to the force on the bottom, then it is asking the ratio between the height to the width. Okay. So if you just imagine the container, if you just imagine so this is the container. Okay, this is the container, and the pressure at this bottom, the pressure at this bottom, this is the bottom part which we are going to consider. Okay, this is the bottom part. Okay, this is the bottom part, and this is the one side. Okay, so this is the condition. So this is the condition. The force on this side I am considering this is F1, and this force on this bottom I am considering the F2. Just I am showing this side. Yes. Okay, this is F1 and F2. So here it is saying the force on any vertical face equal to, means this F1 will be equal to this is F2. The condition is saying the F1 will be equal to F2, and this width is given you as this is W, and this height is given you as this is H. Similarly, this width is given you as W, and obviously this one is also given you as W. So now you tell me what is the hydrostatic force acting on this vertical face. That is, I told this is rho g into y bar into this A. will be equal to same, this is rho g into y bar into this is A1, this is A2. So this density of the fluid will constant, so this rho g gone. Now y bar will be centroid, the centroid of this one will be, this will be equal to, this is h by 2. So this h by 2, this area will be how much, this is h into this is w, will be equal to, and this is y bar. This y bar of this one, I told you, for horizontal planar surface it will coincide with the centroid. So and we are measuring from the free surface, because liquid will be here, we are measuring from the free surface, that will be equal to h only, y bar will be, and this A2 will be equal to, this is w into this is w. So now if you solve this one, this h, 1h and 1w, so this h by this w is coming out to be 2. So h by w is coming out to be 2. So here in this question, just see here. So here the correct answer for the question will be this, option A is the correct answer. Now question number 22. A rectangular tank full to the brim has its length, breadth and height in the ratio of 2:1. Same thing, just I am to tell you. Ratio is 2:1:2. The ratio of the hydrostatic force at the bottom to that any larger vertical surface. Okay, so it is asking the ratio of at the bottom to the any larger. So let's solve this question. Okay, so here you see the vertical height, this is the one condition. Okay, so the length is 2, this breadth is given you as 1 and this height is given you as 2. Okay, so the vertical one, which one? The larger one will be, this will be your 2 and this will be your also 2. So this one is your larger one. So this one is your larger one. So this one is your larger. Okay, because this one is 2 meter. So because this one is your 2 meter and this one is also your 2 meter, and the bottom will be this one, this is 2 meter and this width will be how much, this will be 1 meter. So now it is asking the ratio of the bottom will be this one. So bottom will be, so this is the bottom one. Okay, so it is asking the ratio will be of this bottom divided, so this will be at the longer side, this is asking. So now we have to solve this one, this bottom, what is the pressure at this hydrostatic at the bottom, F1, and this longer side I am considering this is F2. So this F1 will be equal to, so this F1 will be equal to rho g into this is y bar into this is A, rho g into y bar into A. So this rho g, let it keep in this side, and y bar will be equal to, this will be measured from the free surface, so that will be equal to 2, and this area will be equal to, this is 2 meter, this is 1 meter, so this is 2 into 1. Similarly F2 will be equal to on this longer side, this F2 will be equal to rho g y bar. We have to consider this is y bar. So here in this case y bar will be how much? This is 2 divided by this is 2, and the area will be this is 2 meter. So this is 2 meter and this is also 2 meter. So this is 2 into 2 meter. Now you divide this. Okay, so if you divide this is 4 and this is 4. So this rho g gone, and this will be 2 by 2 1. Okay, 2 by 2 1, and this is 2 into 2 and this is 2 into 2. So this F1 by F2 will be coming out to be 1. F1 by F2 is coming out to be 1. So this F1 by F2 is coming out to be 1. Okay, so this is the condition. So F1 is nothing but this one I am talking about, this bottom to the one longer side. So you just see this answer. If you have any doubt, you can come just ask me in the comment box. So here, so the correct answer for the question will be this one. So this is the correct answer for the question. Now you take this 23 and 24 as assignment, and 23 and 24 as assignment, and you try to this you take as assignment 23 and 24. In next class again I am going to solve this pressure measurement some of the question. Today only we have solved some of the question, and the property of the fluid also I am going to make this video and I will upload. So please subscribe my channel and just hit a like button. So thank you, have a good day.